Welcome to Get Your Mind Right. Today, we're diving into your questions and insights in our mailbag segment. Thanks to everyone who wrote in. Let's open up the mailbag.
Hey, let's get it started. John Johnson here. Good morning, and it's time for another round of Mailbag Friday, Get Your Mind Right edition, where we separate the rhinos from the cows and the pros from the posers. Now, this week, we've got 3 juicy questions that may make you laugh, think, and probably yell, get busy into your CRM dashboard. And as a special bonus, I got a surprise for you at the end. But let's jump in. Question number 1 comes from Matthew Prestandria from Fredericksburg, Virginia. And Matthew asks, what piece of fintech are most merchants underutilizing? Oh, this is a good one, Matthew. This question hits harder than a Monday morning pipeline review. Because the truth is, most merchants are sitting on a fintech gold mine and they don't even know it. I'm going to give you a short list of underutilized tools that can transform their bottom line. Number 1, this is big and this is easy. Text to pay and SMS invoicing. Merchants who invoice via email or hand out paper invoices like it's 2003 are missing out on paid faster magic. With text to pay, response rates skyrocket. Customers open text, they click links, they pay. Boom, cash flow improved. 42% of invoices are paid upon opening the text, Matthew. That is huge for your potential merchants. The next thing I like, recurring billing and card vaulting. Now, for your subscription-based, membership-based, or just good at scheduling merchants, vaulting cards and auto billing is a secret weapon. And the kicker, it dramatically improves retention. No awkward calls. No, hey, can I get your card number again? It's just smooth, secure, and repeat revenue. The next thing, Matthew, and this is big for everyone concerned, it's when you do dual pricing right. Someone had to say it. A lot of merchants think they're doing this correctly, but they're either exposing themselves to compliance issues or ignoring customers with half-baked rollouts. Now, the full fintech win comes when dual pricing is seamless, compliant, and backed by solid support. Hey, little secret, you know who has that, don't you? You do. Next thing, Matthew, I want business intelligent dashboards for my merchants. Now, this one sounds a little boring, not as exciting until it shows you where your profit's leaking. Most merchants never log into their reporting tools. Hey, this is where you come in, Matthew. Help them visualize revenue by channel, peak hours, abandoned invoices, conversion rates. That's not data, it's decisions. Now, my final thought here, Matthew, is that the best fintech is invisible. It works in the background, makes the merchant money, and removes that friction. Your job? Make sure it's actually turned on and turned up so that your merchants know how to use it. Lock it in, Matthew, and keep those merchants unlocked what you have for them. Question number 2 comes from my friend Shay Horseman in Nashville, Tennessee. And Shay wants to know, John, where do you see AI in the next few years as it pertains to our business? Should people be worried if they're not using it? Should they be worried that we are going all in? Well, Shay, I love this question. This one's hotter than a Zoom call with no mute button. And you are right. Artificial intelligence is not just knocking down the payments door. It's already kicked it down, walked in, and started doing the admin work while you were at the 7-Eleven picking up a Slurpee. So where's this all going? Well, here's the first thing. I want to knock down a myth while I make this point, because AI, Shay, it's going to be your sales assistant, not your replacement. Think of it this way. You're the quarterback. AI is the offensive coordinator to your earpiece, calling plays and feeding you real-time feeds. It's already handling drafting prospecting emails, creating follow-up cadences, summarizing merchant calls, recommending next steps. But you, Shay Horseman, you are still the closer. That handshake, that instinct, that cocked eyebrow, that perfectly timed, hey, let's rock. AI cannot do that. And the charm, it's still all with you. Now, the next thing, Shay, is this has already happening, but very soon it's going to be baked into all of our tools. And whether it's merchant onboarding, underwriting, digital audits, or lead scoring, you won't even know you're using AI half the time. It's going to be like power steering, quiet but essential, in the background, and vital. Now, Shay, your real worry, and this is for anyone out there, is not using it at all, because these reps that don't adapt, they're going to be chasing shadows. If you're still manually writing every follow-up and organizing your entire day with sticky notes, you're not old school. You're just vulnerable, and you are destined for the boneyard. So, should we be scared on going all in on AI? Well, only someone who's not going to come with us, because we're not replacing people. We're upgrading weaponry that they bring to do battle. That's what Evolve does. The big energy with a digital edge. Your bottom line, Shay, is AI is not taking your job or anyone's here's job. It's taking bad habits off the plate. It's taking off grunt work that you shouldn't be doing anyway. Takes away the excuses and allows you to focus on the action. Now, for our last mailbag question of the day, I got a plot twist here. My listeners have decided to gang up on me. Now, this group is named the She-Nanigans, and they're bringing the fire with me. So is this mystical group known as the She-Nanigans? Well, I'm talking about Kylee Rathgaber. I'm talking about Melanie Cooley, Jeris Schmitz, Conci Yoder, Victoria Taylor. Man, this is sales support and underwriting. When Colonel Jessup wants answers, he calls them. When he thinks he deserves answers, he calls them. When he thinks he's entitled to answers, this is who he is calling. So the She-Nanigans, in their maiden question, are asking me, when managing new sales reps, how do I ensure they submit completed and corrected applications to avoid the trials and tribulations of underwriting? Oh, great question. So first of all, She-Nanigans might be the greatest name in mailbag history. I wonder who came up with that. But back to your question here. Let's talk about avoiding the hellscape that is incomplete underwriting, because nothing kills momentum faster than chasing missing tax IDs or explaining why a voided check is, it's kind of boring, but it should work. So here's how to get your reps trained up for underwriting greatness. So the first thing is make this app process visual. And this means don't just tell them, show them. Build a clickable checklist or flow chart that they can use every time. The bonus for the reps is they can print this and laminate it just like it's a playbook. Because if they're treating this like this is the ACT test every time, they're going to lose deals. Now, the next thing that's really, really important is to build the why into their mindset. Let them see the pain. Let them feel the pain. Share real horror stories. Tell them how we lost a $500,000 a year merchant because the EIN was off by one digit and we just couldn't go back to that merchant one more time. Tie every mistake to an actual merchant moment. Makes that lesson sticky. It makes them thin-skinned, thick-skinned, not thin-skinned, only with a purpose. The next thing is when you got a brand new rep, do a little hold handing. Your first few, sit side by side or screen share. Watch them submit it in real time. They're going to make mistakes, but with your steady hand, they're going to learn. That's the mode. Intense, focused, and hands-on coaching. Next thing is have a little fun with this. Gamify it. Run a leaderboard. Most accurate apps this week gets the Queen Rhino crown or the Bull Aardvark trophy. You could get ladies know how to make it fun, competitive. Do it. Reward the reps who don't make operations cry, because no one wants to see that. The last thing here is to build feedback into the loop. Underwriting should give feedback, not just when something goes wrong. Send highlights. Hey, shout out to Jake. 3 apps, 0 errors. Or reminder, owner's name and DBA are not in the same field. So She-Nanigans, well, there's that name again. You're not just managing. You're building pros. You're building system. So you're building pride. And at the end of the day, you're building the team. Thanks for that great maiden question from the She-Nanigans. I am sure I will be hearing from you again. Now, as promised, we have a new segment that we're adding to each and every mailbag. It is the backstory. So today's backstory concerns the Magic 8 Ball. Now, did you have one of these when you were a kid? Well, I didn't, but my sister did. And she got it when I was a very, very young age, before I learned how to read, because she would ask questions or I would ask questions. She'd shake the ball and then read the answer to me. Now, this thing was awesome, and it actually helped motivate me to learn how to read, especially some of the words on there that were ahead of me with my level of reading. I would ask her that, and by sight, even though I couldn't spell it or even understand the syllables, I would learn those words, all thanks to Mattel and their Magic 8 Ball. Now, I don't know about your siblings, but my sister wasn't big on me borrowing her things without asking. But I got such a kick out of this, and we used it so much together that I pretty much had carte blanche to cab onto this toy anytime I wanted to use it. And I did. And this thing was so much fun. I loved to pretend that this thing had some mystical power to give me answers to questions I had or predict some future event. Now, I want to go a little deeper on this and pop the hood on this nostalgic little sorcerer. Because the magic ball isn't magic, but it is an extremely clever piece of low-tech genius. So here's how it works. If you've not seen one before, it looks like a little black billiard ball, an oversized 8 ball actually, but inside it's hollow and filled with an alcohol-based liquid and a 20-sided die. By the way, that's called an icosahedron. Now, remember that word, because if you're in some trivia contest one night, I guarantee you that is going to win you some money. If you want to learn the spelling on that, just drop me a comment here below, and I'll be happy to answer that for you. Now, back to this 8 ball. The top of it has a clear plastic window, and inside that, there's a floating die visible through that alcohol solution. Now, the alcohol does a couple things. It helps prevent bacteria growth and keeps that die floating evenly. The fluid is dense enough to slow the die's motion, giving that iconic drifting into view drama that builds the suspense. Now, the die itself, it has 20 flat triangular faces, each printed with one of those iconic answers. And when you shake that ball and flip it over, that die floats up to press against the window. Now, due to the curved shape and the pressure from the liquid, only one face is readable through that little window. Pretty cool little gadget, huh? Here's another factoid for you. 10 of the answers are positive, 5 are neutral, 5 are negative. More on those negative ones later. Now, let's walk through this for you folks that haven't had one of these before. You ask your question, which is very important for the psychological buy-in. You shake that ball, which is important for the theatrical effect, and you turn it so the window faces up. And as that die drifts dramatically and slowly up, one answer will settle directly beneath that window, that answer that we covet so much. And boom, your reply, your hazy, your try again, the universe has spoken. Now, for me, sadly, my sister's Magic 8 ball had a very tragic ending to it. I don't know why. It must have leaked out some fluids. But you remember that dramatic drifting of the die with the answer at the top? Well, I lost that and would come up with a point. Okay. And I was slow to give up on it for probably a year. 10 or 15 times I'd go up and shaking it, hoping that it'd heal itself. But no, there was its point. Cosmic powers of the Magic 8 ball were over. Now, this is a nice little story, right? But what's the tie-in, says you? Well, the tie-in is that today, a lot of you folks out there are running your pipeline like it's a Magic 8 ball. And if you're doing this is a fast track to going broke. Now, you know what I'm talking about. You sit down at your desk, you crack your knuckles, you stare at your CRM like it just insulted your mother, and then you go full Mystic Toy mode. Should I call that HVAC lead who ghosted me last week? You shake up your 8 ball. Outlook not so good. Should I follow up on that digital demo I sent out 10 days ago with no reply? Shake it? Better not tell you now. Should I prospect today or just rewatch that training video from March? I give it the shake, look at the window, ask me again later. Hey, babe, I got news for you. This ain't a strategy. This is an emotional support dice. We got reps out there treating prospecting and pipeline building like it's a game of chance. They're hoping the deal will land. They're hoping the merchant will call back. They're hoping that the magic 8 ball is going to tell them that their pipeline is just going to start filling up again. And when it doesn't, they shake the ball again. It's not a pipeline. That's a panic attack in a plastic ball. Let's break this down. Random prospecting does not equal progress. Too many reps pick leads like they're drawing names from a hat. Maybe I'll call that dry cleaner for February. I got a vibe, but hey, it's a weird one, but this could be my lucky day. No, it won't, because you're relying on vibes instead of data. You're letting fate pick your follow-up instead of your CRM. It's not sales. That's spiritual roulette. And secondly, guys, hoping, that is not a sales strategy. Maybe they'll reach out. Maybe that email will land. Maybe his grandmother's mood ring is black and that's why they didn't answer. No, and no. Grandma's mood ring isn't holding your commission check hostage. You are. And the third thing is the 20-sided dice problem. By the way, what was that name of a device that has 20 sides? Now you might want to rewind and hear that again. But the point I want to make here, there's only 10 positive answers in the magic 8 ball. The other 10, they're either passive or straight up negative. So that's a 50% chance of disappointment, and it feels higher when you're waiting on the universe to handle your calendar. So here's what closers do instead. Number one, they prioritize by intent, not vibes or intuition. They schedule their outreach. They block that time. They don't consult cosmic liquids. And they track the ball until they finish the goal line, until they cross that goal line, not until very doubtful pops up in the window. And the last thing is they follow up with purpose. They're not going to wait for mystical green lights to appear in their inbox. Reps who win don't shake a toy for answers. They shake up their industry by being proactive, intentional, and full throttle. So let's talk about vibes. What is the vibe check here? Well, it's pretty straightforward. If you're using a magic 8 ball to manage your life's sales, you better understand the refund policy. It is time to get serious. No more ask again later. No more reply hazy. No more rolling the dice on your own paycheck. Get your mind right, stand on your business, and pump the brakes on the bulldozer, because random efforts is going to get you random results. Now, you looking for answers on ways to fill up that pipeline? Well, tune in to Get Your Mind Right on September 24, and we got an episode for field-tested methods that work. So, to end the backstory, I'm going to give you a little trivia moment here, okay? I'm going to give you a multiple choice question here, and you tell me what your answer is. Drop it below. So, which of the following is a real magic 8-ball answer? A, your vibe is mid. B, without a doubt. C, try LinkedIn Premium. Or D, this is a no cap answer. Drop it below and I'll give you the feedback. So folks, that's a wrap on this week's mailbag. And we're just getting warmed up. Where else can you find fintech tips, AI insight, and the underwriting application gospel, and the magic 8-ball in one setting? Right here. That's your answer. So here's your move. You like what you hear today? Like it, share it. Send it to someone that you care about that could use this. And for the love of all things that are full throttle, hit that subscribe. Share it. No excuses, just action. I'll see you back here on Wednesday on Get Your Mind.